Hey, how's everybody doing? Welcome back to the channel. As you guys see by the title, we're going to be talking about Dalvin Cook and why I feel the Vikings need to move off him immediately. ASAP, as soon as possible, as soon as they can get a trade together, they should move off him. There are a ton of trends in the NFL that are really against paying running backs even more than $5 million a year. I'm going to be making my case in this video right now. You guys, though, I want you guys to leave a comment down below. What would you guys actually do if you were Kwesi Adolfo-Mensah and you had this decision and it was just a Dalvin Cook? If he called you and he said, hey, I need your advice on what to do with Dalvin Cook, what would you do? How would you handle it? Because it is very interesting. I have some facts I need to lay out for you guys. But anyways, let's talk about it right now. All right, so let's throw the graphic on the screen, probably on either one of my shoulders right now. But it's pretty much showing the Super Bowl winners, leading rusher plus salary since 2009. So this is a pretty big sample size. And if you're looking at the leading rushers, I just want you guys to go take a look at the names first off. You see we got Cam Akers, Leonard Fournette, LeGarrette Blount's been in there a couple times, Percy Harvin. I get the Seahawks one's a little misleading because their leading rusher in that was Percy Harvin, but they had Marshawn Lynch, but he was only slated to make $6 million. So that's really the only outlier. But then if you keep going on one row to the right, look at the base salary. Like, really look at the base salary. And I know this is not like in totality of what the running back room is making, but this is just what their leading rusher is making. I mean, you see it all. It's 1.1, 2, 1 million, 400,000, 900,000. I mean, half of these aren't even above $1 million a year for a leading rusher. So when it comes back to Dalvin Cook, and we can connect this back to the Vikings, I think there are multiple factors. Listen, if the Vikings had no other running backs and Dalvin Cook was slated to make $15 million, I would say you're crazy to trade him because our running game would take a huge step back. But if we're looking at our running back room, and you just look at Alexander Madison and Kene Nwangwu, I really don't think there will be a drop-off in production from the running back room as a whole. Yes, Dalvin will probably still out-carry and out-yard Madison in totality. But if you look at the total production of the Vikings running back group, if it was Dalvin Cook, Madison, and Kene Nwangwu, it would be the same next season if it was just Madison and Kene Nwangwu. And if we're looking at the Vikings roster, they have a problem up front on the offensive line and in the secondary. And they need about every cent they can get. And Dalvin is slated to be, I think, the third or fourth highest paid running back in the NFL next season. And I love Dalvin Cook. He's a class act, no drama, no attitude, no diva in him at all. I mean, he just went and finished his college degree last season. So that just speaks to the type of guy that Dalvin Cook is. That's the harsh reality of the NFL, is that it is a business, and there are analytics for a reason for stuff like this. I'm always anti-analytics. You guys know that. When it comes to NFL, I think analytics can be used, in big-time moments. I mean, in certain moments, but I always say in big-time moments and big-time decisions, it's got to be a combination of just, analytics and analytics, where it's that gut feeling, and obviously you look at the numbers. So one of the things that bothered me so much last year was Kene Nwangwu not getting enough touches. And I'm sorry, but if Dalvin Cook and Madison are still getting majority next season, it's not like Kene Nwangwu is going to take a huge increase in touches just because he's going into the second year of his contract or second year of his career. But if you're saying if some team came up to the Vikings and offered a second-round pick for Dalvin Cook, they take all the contract, I feel like that would be an instant yes. Would Dalvin go for a second? I do not know. But if a team like Baltimore, who maybe has a very strong running game and they want to keep if they want to just keep upgrading that side of the football in that position group, and Baltimore comes to you and says, we'll give you a second and a third for Dalvin, you guys can't move on. The Vikings should do that in a heartbeat because we've seen in this Super Bowl, you look at the Bengals, two problems. The Bengals are absolutely loaded everywhere else. I mean, absolutely loaded. Quarterback, wide receiver, running back, front seven on defense is probably the most underrated group in the NFL. But the two things that got exposed was the secondary and the offensive line, the two weakest groups on the Minnesota Vikings. That, I think, having corners and having a strong offensive line is right behind quarterback right now in most important position groups in the NFL. So if you could go move off a running back, who I would probably put running back as probably like the 10th most important position group in the NFL, who's making $16 million next year, I say you do it. And I understand this. I would never want to say this. Like, I would hate to have this decision. Like, this is why I don't want to be an NFL GM, because you got to make tough decisions like this, like moving on from a star running back who, even still, fans will be furious if you would do that. I just think there's too much information to not justify moving off Dalvin Cook immediately. I think if I was GM, that was my one move. I would be looking for a second round, third round pick for Dalvin Cook. We can go into the draft, find another corner, find another offensive lineman, just kind of keep bolstering it. And I understand this is not like years past where we'll take a lineman like Wyatt Davis in the second or third round and he won't play the entire year. I'm hoping with this new regime, the rookies will play faster and more effective. So that's why I think draft picks, if we can move off Dalvin Cook, why not? It's not like we have no other running backs. We have Alexander Madison. We have Kene Nwangwu, who is an absolute speed demon, and he needs to get the damn ball next year. I think this is a great way to up the value of Madison and Kene with also moving off Dalvin Cook. Let me know what you guys think down below. This is an interesting topic to debate. Skol Vikes. See you guys next time.